For this webinar, I'm joined by our speaker, Ranganathan, an integration expert and an IT consultant with over 10 years' experience. He brings to the table his experience in the area of iPaaS implementation and API management. It's truly a privilege to have Ranganathan as our speaker for today's session. And today we will discuss on one of the things we have never talked about on this platform is the role and scope of iPaaS in IT modernization. With that in mind, we would like to take a deep dive into the subject where we provide an overview and discuss best practices. We'll also address the growing complexities across multi-cloud and hybrid architectures. Without further ado, let me hand over the controls to our speaker. Over to you, Ranga.
Thanks, Richa. Okay, hello everyone. This is Ranga here. You can address me as Ranga in over the call. Okay. Today we are going to discuss about the role of iPaaS in IT modernization. I think every enterprise is going through a digital transformation or IT modernization in the current era. How exactly uh, and integration being the critical path actually in terms of any IT modernization or like digital transformation. Okay, it is quite important to modernize the your integration as well. Okay, and then with the advent of cloud in, deployments and all those things actually, it's all the way more important for an integration platform to be very futuristic in nature actually. From that perspective, okay, how iPaaS integration platform as a service is relevant in IT modernization and then digital transformation of enterprises. Okay, what opportunities we get by using the iPaaS, and what may be the challenges in this journey actually of this digital journey or IT modernization. Okay, we may face. Okay, when we are done when we go through this iPaaS adoption within any enterprises. Okay, with that context actually. Okay. Uh, We'll today's agenda is like we'll go through the what exactly is an iPaaS, like a definition and overview, and then an iPaaS architecture. Okay, what are all the elements within the iPaaS architecture? What typical use case or functionalities and typical iPaaS provides? Okay, and opportunities and benefits of iPaaS basically. Okay, what benefits it provides over a typical integration platforms. Okay, and when the enterprises are going for the journey of digital transformation, how exactly iPaaS fits, and why and how exactly iPaaS fits, and then of the fitment of it actually. Okay, and what are all the challenges basically? Okay, we may face while adopting the iPaaS. Okay, and we'll go through a teach-based case study as well, wherein when we are implementing an hybrid integration platform using a suite of iPaaS and other products as well, or exactly we were able to do a hybrid integration platform adoption for a particular customer using iPaaS as well. Okay, as an example. Okay, this is the agenda. Okay, just to go through the next this thing. Uh, Integration platform as a service is an kind of evolving terminology as of now. Okay, because there are a lot of definitions for it actually as of now, like different people, different enterprises are still using iPaaS term in a different way. Okay, that's where I have taken the definition from Gartner. Okay, so that I can be to certain extent uh, um, uh, proper in a way actually that it is relevant to this discussion. Okay, according to Gartner, iPaaS is a suite of cloud services enabling development, execution, and governance of integration flows, connecting any combination of on-premises and cloud processes, services, applications, and data within individual or across multiple organizations as well, like within enterprise or like it's an extended organizations as well. This is the definition by Gartner. If you typically have used iPaaS, actually, like if you can go through this overview to understand further, like a standardized application integration within an organization. iPaaS provides that, actually. Okay, provides automated tool set for integration software, application deployment in different environments. Okay, and one of the major point within the iPaaS is that it can deploy over on-premises as well, on the clouds and different clouds as well. Okay, and that is a major advantage and simplifies the overall business processes, automation, and then data sharing as well across the applications, whether it is on premise or on cloud or different clouds, multiple clouds. This is the kind of overview if you want to give, actually, because when we are telling the definitions, it may not be that catchy to get these details, but I've given the overview so that these are the kind of things, actually, which will give the overview of a typical iPaaS. Okay. We'll go to the next one. There are terminologies like PaaS, IaaS, software as a solution, a service, software as a service, integration platform as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. All these terminologies are quite confusing. From that perspective, like if I just want to clear it out before jumping in what exactly is integration platform as a service, actually, in terms of the terminologies itself, yeah, integration infrastructure as a service is like where we get a typical computing environment wherein we get our servers and computing environments and storage for that, actually. Okay, the next thing usually typically is that platform as a service where we have get a runtime environment as an operating system and all those things as well, wherein we'll be developing our application software and we'll be able to ready. We just have to just deploy our software on a platform as a service. Actually, we don't need to bother about anything else. Actually, that is the platform as a service. Software as a service is like even the you don't need to install your software on this thing. Actually, it is already built, and then like we just have to log in on a cloud environment, and then like we'll be able to directly access the software as a service, actually. But what is integration platform as a service is like it's a sort of cloud services, actually, wherein we can deploy these sort of applications either on premises as well and on different cloud environments as well. Okay, it encompasses everything, like even the platform as a service features as well, infrastructure as a service as well, and it integrates with software as a service, like software as a service as well. Okay, it has integrations with the SaaS products, and it provides all the functionalities of a PaaS. Okay, and then on top of that, how to integrate between cloud functions as well and on premises as well. It's like an combination of all these things, and it provides application integration tools like connectors and those things as well. Okay, from that perspective, this is the differentiation between these different terminologies. Okay. Okay. Next thing we will go to is like architecture. Okay. How exactly, like in this slide, we will go through how exactly a traditional architecture, integration architecture, differs from an iPaaS architecture. Okay. Traditionally, if you're in an enterprise, what happens is like if the enterprises are started in like early 2000s and all, they most of the applications were on premises, actually. Okay, and with the advent of cloud services and all those things, actually, there are a lot of applications moved on to the cloud as well. Okay, we have uh, and we have data warehouse, data integrations, and all those things, actually. Okay, what we typically have when it comes to integrations as well is that, actually, like there are cloud-based applications systems, actually, and there are on-premise application systems as well. Okay, and there are cloud-based databases as well, and cloud-based like on-premises databases as well. Okay, like data warehouse and all the stuff, actually. Okay, and there may be homegrown apps, and then there's open data. Okay, usually typically what happens is like when there is this much disparate systems actually in our in our enterprise, we typically use our own integrations. Like there may be an ESB doing an on-premise integration with for all the on-premise backend systems. Okay, there may be an another modern microservice-based integration on a cloud-based environment or a API-based integration. They would have built actually for cloud-based integrations, or like there may be a data integration between the cloud environments itself. But there is again required a requirement to do data integrations within the on-premise this thing as well. Okay, there may be data needs to be migrated from different applications onto the data warehouse. Okay, there may be a different ETL tool used for that. Typically like that actually there may be multiple integration points in traditional integration environments. Okay, but when it comes to integration platform as a service, what exactly it happens is like iPaaS provides connectors and deployments on various deployments. Like it can be deployed over the cloud, and then it recognizes the particular application, whether it is on-premise or on cloud, whether it is database, whether it is the modern database or in legacy database with its pre-built connectors like that actually, or even a very modern like mobile apps or SaaS products or even the IoT devices like that actually. It has connectivity to everything, a single platform connecting to all these things actually, and it provides a single view for any enterprises to for all the integrations that is available within the enterprise. From that perspective, it looks very easy to do adopt enterprise integration platform as a service actually. Okay, this is the difference between the architecture. As we gone through what is the difference between like traditional integration to iPaaS integration. Okay, I'll just deep dive further into the architecture as well. Okay, typically a traditional integration, how it looks like. Okay, it has different elements within the integration. Like typically, if we have evolved from the early 2000s onwards, actually enterprises actually they may be using an enterprise application integration tools. There are many tools for AI tools, and then like with the advancement of SOA and all, like there are ESB tools come into picture, and then like advancement of API management, digital transformation, API management came into picture. Like that, actually, there are different integration elements. Okay, and also there is a huge requirement to do asynchronous integrations. Okay, using point to point or asynchronous integration between the systems in real time as well, and in the for the big data platforms using ETL based tooling as well. From the data integration point perspective, there are many tools for that as well. And then in terms of B2B integrations like that, actually, there are many tools we typically use within an traditional enterprise for different perspective of implementation of the integration. Okay, there are many tooling. Okay, and on top of that, if we have to do a DevOps, a monitoring of all these different integrations deployed over that, actually all these things again we have an identity management, roles based access, and all those things we have different products for them itself. Okay, but in a typical iPaaS, actually all these things are integrated, and it provides all these things as a single suite. Okay, wherein iPaaS can provide an API management solution, ESB solution as well, a data integration as well, a B2B integration as well. Like that, it has all the pre-built connectors as well, and it has its own monitoring solution. It has its own platform management as well. Okay, and then it provides all the tooling required to do the complete integration for a particular enterprise. Okay, from that perspective, it's like a complete solution for your enterprise for an complete integration to be done for an enterprise. Okay, this is from the integration architecture perspective. Okay, okay. What are the typical iPaaS use cases iPaaS provides basically? Okay, One of the main thing is the application to application integration. That is the typically our ESBs and AI tools were providing us actually in a typical legacy integration environments. Okay, and microservice integration is like a flavor of application integration itself. It's quite advanced in the modern world, wherein these application integrations are scalable nature, and they are deployed over the cloud native deployments. Basically, it provides an advanced way of integrations using microservices integrations. And B2B integration is very important because most of these enterprises have their third-party partners integrating with their extended enterprises deployed over different environments, interacting with each other. Okay, there may be security required for the B2B integrations, and the data formats agreed upon to have B2B integrations as well. Okay, from that perspective, BTP integration is one of the main key features, use cases an iPaaS should provide. And the next big thing is the data integration. Okay, data integration in terms of both uh, 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 in terms of asynchronous implementation of the patterns, integration patterns, and also ETL kind of integrations, wherein uh, uh, we extract data from one system to other system to make sure that data is synchronized. Basically, all these ETL type of integrations also required to be provided by the iPaaS. Okay, and platform integrations, as iPaaS is not just deployed over an just on-premise or anything like that. This should provide the platform integrations across the cloud, on-premise, and all those things. Okay, it should have those capabilities as well as a functionality. Okay, and then this is one of the newer requirements, the IoT device integrations. Okay, some of the modern iPaaS platforms are providing that, but typically is expected out of it because IoT being one of the modern use cases to be implemented in on iPaaS as well. Okay, and big data integrations in terms of integration with a data warehouse system, of exactly the analytics can be taken out of for the big data integrations. All those things are also important, should be provided by the iPaaS products. And multiple cloud integrations. Yeah, it's not like single cloud integrations. It can be multiple cloud integrations as well, because a typical iPaaS can be deployed over iPaaS different Microsoft Azure or like AWS or GCP, anywhere you can deploy. Okay, and event stream integrations. This is like again data synchronization solutions, wherein if there is change in a data in one system, it automatically reflects on another system, so that these streaming solutions are also a part of integrations nowadays actually. Okay, that streaming solutions also very important in terms of keeping the data in synchronization between the different applications within an enterprises as well. Okay, these are the typical iPaaS use cases actually. Okay, when we go through actually, okay, like as of now, I have painted a very rosy picture of iPaaS, and then like it can do all these wonders actually. Like we'll go through what are the challenges and all those things, and what opportunities we have and all those things. But before that, actually, this is what all these iPaaS providers intend to as the final goal. Okay, these are the use cases they want to provide as their final goal. Okay, it's not like an not all the iPaaS providers are already providing all these use cases as well. But as of now, this is what we defined, like these things has to be provided by them actually. Okay, and their capabilities, and then their levels actually of maturity is in different levels for each of the iPaaS products available on the market as well. Okay, what are the typical benefits of iPaaS? Okay, okay. As of now, we went through the typical iPaaS use cases. Okay. The next thing is the what is the benefit of I think we have got to know already what is the benefit as well, but just to go through briefly, what are the typical iPaaS benefits is like speed and simplicity, because uh, the way you integrate with the cloud and on-premises and all those things, there are pre-built connectors and custom integrations. Okay, it's very easy to integrate with any database or an application or anything. Okay, it provides an option to create APIs just like that actually, using the tooling from the iPaaS itself. Okay, and reduce the dependencies because the next thing is the scope and flexibility. Okay, in a typical integration, you need an integration expert to do all the integrations. In you're using an iPaaS, actually, it provides an option for any a normal not an expert actually. Also, we call it as digital or like personas to do these integrations as well. Okay, with limited knowledge on the integrations as well, we'll be able to do that very fast in integrations as well. Create IPs out of the custom or the pre-built connectors. Okay, and the scalability as iPaaS are deployed over the cloud or a typical infrastructure where the scalable infrastructure provided. Okay, uh, using the scalable infrastructure of the where exactly it is deployed uses that and make sure that the scalability is achieved as well. Okay, and one of the major benefit is the centralized monitoring and unified customer experience, as iPaaS provides all the information in the single platform. Okay, where what are all the different application to application integrations or the data integrations or deployments. Okay, different environments, all these typical information which is required for an all the integrations within that enterprise. It gives a single view, okay, about and then it provides reporting and all those things, what are the number of transactions happening, and all those details are provided in an unified way. That way actually, and also what are the different systems it is integrating with as well. From that perspective, it is very consistent in the way how exactly your integrations are done. Okay, whether it is data integration or application integration, there will be a consistency maintained. From that perspective, like enterprises will like consistency when exactly and the view of the overall view for the enterprises gives the that advantage. Okay, and then with all these things actually, okay, as I told, it has its pre-built connectors and all those platform to platform connectivity and all. You don't need to bother actually, you don't need to set up all these things actually. Because of that actually, and the reduction in timelines in terms of developing the services, as there are connectors available to connect to any legacy and any modern connectors like any SaaS products, and all those connectors are available within that actually, the it will definitely reduce the time to market and then boost the productivity of the overall organization. And the next thing is like the simplified programming and low code features. Like as I told, like it gives again different personas to develop different services. Okay, different processes actually. A business analyst who has done an business process itself, it can be automatically transformed as a process, implementable process. Okay, using an iPaaS. That way actually reduces the timelines as well. Okay, and then enhance security. iPaaS provides a role-based access and all those compliances already built in within the iPaaS product itself. That provides the enhanced security for overall integrations. Okay, these are the typical benefits of iPaaS, adopting iPaaS for the enterprises. We'll go to the next set of slides. Okay. Okay. Uh, now that actually we understood uh, typically, okay, uh, we have got to know what are all the how the architecture of an iPaaS is, and what are all the typical use cases, and what are all the benefits of it actually. And but there are a lot of vendors providing iPaaS features actually. Like, okay, there are a lot of vendors uh, um, providing the iPaaS functionalities. Okay, how you can choose it actually, that is the major whenever the enterprises come to us actually for our is to adopt any enterprise iPaaS actually, the major challenge is which one suits for them. Okay, that is a major challenge they go through. Okay, from that perspective, what we typically do is actually we have some certain criteria to select a particular iPaaS for that enterprise. Okay, when we have to do that actually, we consider these points actually are the parameters to assess an iPaaS product actually. Okay, the ease of use of that iPaaS platform, like including platform deployment, data integration, creation, and administration. How much easy it is to use that iPaaS platform? That is the major thing actually, because you're taking an iPaaS because it reduces your overall time to market and boosting, as we discussed in the benefits, right? It should ideally give that based that can only be done if the use of that iPaaS platform is done properly. Okay, whatever they are claiming to be. Okay, and then there should be a comprehensive and intuitive interfaces and tool sets actually. Okay, the tool sets to do all the integrations and then monitoring and DevOps and so many other things should be very intuitive, and then the tool sets should be comprehensive enough. Okay, that is the next thing actually. And cloud on-premises installation options, like there may be some restrictions. Okay, this can only be deployed over an AWS. That may not be working solution for you guys actually, like a particular interface like that. Actually, it should be cloud and on-premise installation options. What are all the different options it provides? Okay, and number of pre-built connectors is very important. Okay, an enterprise may have a different set of backend systems, and they may be using different backend databases, systems, and protocols to connect to them actually. Okay, it's very important that we list down all the different protocols and the databases used by that typical enterprise, and what protocols are required, what connectors are available for are done by that iPaaS platform. Okay, not only that actually, how easy it is to do custom connectors as well. Okay, there are already pre-built connectors to connect to a Oracle database or an MongoDB or like any other DB like that. Actually, there may be vast amount of connectors, pre-built connectors available, but there may be a very old like an Informix database actually, which may not be in readily available connector, but there may be a custom connector required for that. How easy to get that custom connector using an iPaaS? That is also very important actually. Okay, like that actually, the like other things are straightforward, like support for different formats like XML, JSON, real-time batch integrations within that, and then like ability to clean and transform data. These are the typical things actually. Okay, and performance when large data volumes in terms of big data integrations and all those things, and monitoring capabilities, as I told, are very important. What are all the monitoring capabilities will define it. In the monitoring capabilities should have all the capabilities for in terms of platform and data integration, application integration, reporting, like transaction details. All those things should is very important actually. Okay, and security mechanisms. What are the different security mechanisms that is provided by the iPaaS platform? These are the typical parameters or metrics uh, uh, what we'll do is like we rate each of the iPaaS products against these parameters. Okay, and then provide that details to an enterprise whenever they have to choose that product actually. Okay, and yeah, that is what we do actually within Toriares to choose an iPaaS products for an enterprise. Okay, the next thing is w- w- but actually there are 50 or 100 iPaaS platforms actually. Okay, how we have to shortlist them actually, it's a very big challenge. Okay, how exactly we can shortlist the typical iPaaS platforms within the iPaaS platforms available. Okay, from that perspective, what we usually do is we give these reports from the Gartner. Okay, like Gartner is one of the rating agencies actually, which has already taken these evaluation criteria like ability to execute. These are all the different criteria they have used. Okay, in terms of the completeness of vision. Okay, these are the typical criteria they have used, and they have typically rated against all these criterias. Okay, and chosen different products actually, and where they are in terms of the grouping, like whether they are leaders, challengers, niche players, or visionaries actually. Okay, leaders being the on full top actually, and challenges are visionaries based on the type of ability to execute or like completeness of vision. Okay, based on that actually they will what exactly you enterprise needs, they come second, and then niche players are the ones actually which which are still evolving and coming into it provides both the options as well. But there are so many other products which are not in consideration as well. From this perspective, we will give these details as well for a typical enterprise to shortlist the first set actually, so that we will evaluate further based on the other criteria I mentioned in the previous slide. Okay. Gartner is one of them. Similarly, we have Forrester is another rating agency, and typically this is how they have rated. Again, I provided here what are their evaluation criteria, what are their current offerings, okay, in terms of integration and all those things. These are the criteria they use, okay, and in terms of strategy, what are all the criteria they use, and in terms of market presence, okay, because they should have been already used by the enterprises, how exactly they have adopted, how much revenues they have generated, so that okay, people are adopting this actually, those type of things as well. That type of a market presence evaluation also is being done by the Forrester. Okay, from that perspective, because if some iPaaS is there, actually it's wonderful, but nobody has adopted it, actually is a problem as well. From that perspective, it gives that information as well, so that you'll be able to choose, okay, because there'll be users who are experienced in that should be able to get those resources to do that implementation as well. From that perspective, it is very important to know that actually it is adopted by the enterprises as well. All these criterias they have done, actually based on all these things, actually we will be able to shortlist. Actually we will usually have integration interactions with the enterprises actually. Okay, based on all these criteria, they can go through the complete documentation by the Gartner and the Forrester, so that whatever the uh, first top list, they can get it. Actually they'll be able to get it, and then further we evaluate further according to their requirements basically. Okay, and we have internally have a lot of evaluation criteria, and we have evaluated many iPaaS products against those criteria as well. We'll be able to provide that to the customers whenever they require against them as well. Okay. Now that we have gone through iPaaS, actually is iPaaS suited for everybody actually, like in a typical enterprise actually, like there may be an enterprise which has all their applications on premises actually, and all the data integrations are all happening within the on premises itself. Okay, and they are able to do their integrations using an ESB and an ETL tool. Okay, and it's working fine actually. That may not be a enterprise which requires an iPaaS product actually. Typically, an iPaaS product is required where their applications are residing on both different clouds, on premises as well. They have different legacy integration. They have modern integrations using API management, modern microservices as well. There are multiple data integrations tools they are using on premise as well. There are different data integration tools they are using as well, and then there are different databases involved. That is the kind of typical enterprise where iPaaS will be most useful for those. It's not like in a typical on-premises itself. It may not be useful, but this is where it is most useful. Okay, and then like. And for the organizations, what exactly happens is like, as I mentioned, actually there are many applications uh, are databases on their on-premises and cloud as well. It's they wouldn't have documented as well. Okay, for those organizations, it's very important that actually using an iPaaS, whenever iPaaS integrates with the system, you have to give a certain information about the system, so that it maintains, the iPaaS provides that maintenance of that systems as well, and what type of integration or protocol it is using to connect to that database or the system as well. From that perspective, iPaaS provides you the whole view of overall integrate applications you have in your all those landscape, whether it is on premise or cloud. From that perspective, those type of where enterprises doesn't have the documentation about their systems will be helpful for actually. Okay, to overcome shadow IT enterprise, like what happens is in typical enterprise is like everybody with a typical account in their enterprise account to spend. Actually, they go ahead and then buy a new AWS account and then create their own siloed application. Okay, like that. Actually, like, there are many silos created in enterprises. Actually, from that perspective, when you use an iPaaS platform, you'll be able to recognize all these silos, and then we'll be able to integrate with all these things actually as well, so that it typically gives that information. Okay. And enterprises who are going through the digital transformation, okay, and that is the major thing actually. Okay. Okay, there are on-premise systems and they want to move completely into digital, and they want to do completely digitize their application, and they want to migrate from their legacy integrations to the modern integrations, and they are on the path of digital transformation or IT modernization. Those are the ones actually typically looking for an iPaaS platform, and it will be most useful for. Okay. Are if they are already knowing okay, hybrid integration platform adoption as well. I'll talk about hybrid integration talk in detail later. Actually, yeah, that in that journey as well, our agile integration, they are the ones actually which this iPaaS adoption is most suitable for those enterprises. Okay. Even if they are more suitable for iPaaS adoption, but actually, as an whenever we give solutions, we make sure that whatever the enterprise we choose for iPaaS we choose for an enterprise should align to their business strategy. That is very important. Okay, it has to whatever the business strategy of that enterprise is aligning to whatever the iPaaS products we are recommending. Okay, enable modern application architecture. Okay, it should enable the completely API enabled modern microservice based those type of modern application architecture as well, and enable citizen integrators. Like, make sure that the citizen integrators are the ones actually which will be not only typical integration specialists can able to do the integrations. A normal with limited knowledge on integrations can also do the integrations. That is the kind of capabilities we want to provide to an enterprise. Okay. These are the criteria they should consider whenever the enterprises they want to adopt. What type of enterprises needs an iPaaS, and then also we should consider these points when we are selecting a particular iPaaS as well. Okay. Okay, now that we have gone through so much of positivity in terms of iPaaS, okay, there are always actually when there are pros, actually there are cons as well. Okay, from that perspective, there are huge challenges as well. As I told you, actually there are wide variety of products available in the market. Okay, there are wide variety of use cases, features that a typical iPaaS has to provide. Okay, to do all these things. Okay, as we discussed. But the problem with the market is like different and inconsistent features. Actually, we expect an ideal iPaaS. No other vendors will be able to provide that typical ideal this thing. Like, what exactly happens is like there may be loosely defined features. Okay, in a typical iPaaS may provide a proper microservice integration and API integration. It may not be giving a proper data integration. Okay, which is required also for an enterprise. That type of product. A lot of research is required to evaluate the features. Okay, we have to put a lot of effort ourselves before finalizing. Okay, what is the capability or the maturity of that particular feature. Okay, that is uh, and market is still immature for products, and products are still dissimilar. Okay. Okay, offerings are work better in certain scenarios, okay, and may not work in other scenarios. Those are the typical challenges actually. Okay, basically the differing and inconsistent features provided by each of these vendors is the major problem. Okay, and security can be a weakness is how it is actually, because we are enabling the citizen integrators to do the iPaaS integration. From that perspective, it is making sure that anybody can do the integration. Typically, what happens in that scenarios is like, if if they are not following certain processes within that as well, there should be some amount of governance around how we created APIs as well. There will be a lot of APIs created which are not used actually, are like they may be compromising on the security. Okay, uh, as iPaaS as a product will be compliant, but the way within the overall enterprise, if it is developed by not so sure integrators, it may create a security vulnerability as a weakness actually as well. Okay. And then another platform limitations is that actually in terms of scalability, okay, it usually hooks onto the other infrastructure, like whether you may go for a cloud infrastructure, whatever the scalability of that, or like you may deploy over the on-premise as well, these applications. Depending on their scalability, it may be working on actually, okay. Actually, based on that, actually, this scalability is limited to certain extent actually. Okay, this is one of the challenge we have faced actually. And then the management overhead. Okay, whenever you use a iPaaS product actually, you have to keep tracking of the evolution of the product actually, of exactly the overall management of the iPaaS itself. There will be management over by the enterprises to look after the iPaaS as the overall platform. Okay, even if the platform is managed by the platform vendor. Okay, you have to put your own people to make sure that that is typically properly implemented within your organization, all the required features. Okay, from that perspective, there will be a management overhead because you are already invested a lot of money to buy the iPaaS products, as it is a platform completely owned by a third party, and you may have partnered with some people to do your application integration, and on top of that, you have to make sure that all those integrations are done properly. Okay, from that, management overhead is there also there. Okay, these are the typical challenges we face whenever we adopt the iPaaS. Okay, any doubts in this until now? Okay, next we will go to hybrid integration platform. Okay, I think hybrid integration platform is something similar, okay, in terms of the definition. Okay, you can go through this definition. This is by again Gartner defined this hybrid integration platform definition. Okay, but I'll go through what are the commonalities actually. Okay, hybrid integration platform is also solving the similar thing actually what iPaaS is trying to solve. Okay, it has diverse integration patterns and use cases, diversity of endpoints, okay, wherever you're deployed it, hybrid deployment options, like whether it is cloud and all those things actually in different environments, and addressing range of personas as the ones actually like citizen integrators or the integration specialists, different personas. All these things are addressed by both hybrid integration platform as well and iPaaS as well. Okay, what is the difference is like an hybrid integration platform is a capability framework. Okay, means um, um, it is this is what we require to do an hybrid integration platform. Okay, but iPaaS is like a suite of cloud services which solves the problem. Okay, whatever the hybrid integration platform defines as a set of functionality we needed, okay, to implement the hybrid integration platform, iPaaS is saying that this is what iPaaS is the solution to do all these things actually. Okay, that is how the capability framework, hybrid integration platform is a capability framework, and iPaaS provides the sort of cloud service to implement those services actually. Okay, required for that. Okay, hybrid integration platform, as I mentioned, actually has four dimensions, like the personas, as I mentioned, different personas here, and the integration domains, as I mentioned earlier in iPaaS as well, application data, application data integration, B2B, and process integrations as well. Okay, and in terms of deployment models as well, there is on-premise, cloud, hybrid, and embedded. Okay, in terms of endpoints, on-premise, mobile, Internet of Things, cloud, all these the different endpoints. These four dimensions define the hybrid integration platform. Okay, I think these are the same commonalities in the iPaaS as well. Okay, from that perspective. Okay, and what Toriaris as an organization does is actually for enterprises is most of our enterprises who approach for our IT modernization or digital transformation is they have their legacy integration, okay, legacy application integrations, and then they have their modern application integrations as well. Okay, uh, they are typically confused how exactly they want to take it forward. Okay, completely. Okay, there are applications on premise as well and cloud as well, and different platforms as well, and then the that is where most of these enterprises commit how exactly we solve this problem, how exactly we move towards completely IT modernization and modernization of integration platform as well. Okay, that is where we give. Okay, it's not easy to completely migrate all your legacy integrations or legacy application on premise onto the cloud, and all those things are. It is not a like a lift and shift kind of thing. Okay, it takes a lot of effort to do that modernization basically. Okay, that is where we take an approach of this reference architecture. Okay, where both of them live together for some time. Okay, and how exactly in a phased approach we can take some of the legacy architecture, legacy integrations onto the modern integrations. Okay, typically in an enterprise, we will have all these UI based systems actually interacting with the API gateway for all their synchronous integrations, and then we will have these ESB web services and all those things, legacy integrations living together with the microservice based integrations or architecture within that as well. Okay, with all these design time governance, runtime governance, and all this stuff actually with interacting with the backend systems and then the data layer as well. Okay, this is the overall typical reference architecture for a hybrid integration platform defined by the Tor Iris. Okay, and how exactly we take it forward is actually, okay, these are the different legacy integrations available within organization. Okay, like there may be a legacy enterprise service bus. Okay, in the new modern hybrid integration, what are the modern applications on the right hand side? That can be implemented using an iPaaS or an hybrid integration platform itself is a new product. Some of the vendors are giving hybrid integration platform as itself as a product. Okay, they are defining it actually like backend as a service. Those type of different tooling are available. Okay, different toolings are available on the right hand side for any modern applications. Okay, what we typically do is we will give all these options. Okay, these are the typical legacy integrations a particular organizations may have, and what are all the modern typical legacy modern integrations corresponding to that as well. Okay, we will define all those things actually. This is defined by our areas like based on our experience. Okay, and then like we will give an option to the we'll create a integration decision tree typically like this. Okay, we'll start with actually, okay, for an enterprise. Okay, for an enterprise, if they need process integration and data integration, within the process integration, whether they need real-time synchronous integration or asynchronous integration, like that actually we will list down what are all the different integrations they need. Okay, and how exactly they can be done using, whether it is API they want, or event based they want, or ETL based and want actually. Okay, and based on that, those typical decision trees, we will be able to recommend, okay, what are all the possible options. Okay, this can be implemented using an API management tool, whether it can be implemented using a Kafka or similar asynchronous tooling. Okay, like are a typical iPaaS as well. Okay, whenever as I mentioned, actually, iPaaS will provide eventually will provide all the typical use cases which are required for an hybrid integration platform, but it is still not evolved. Okay, from that perspective, we also recommend to our customers an iPaaS for a particular this thing actually. Okay, um, iPaaS has a subsection like, okay, as of now, an enterprise requires only data integration iPaaS product. We still stick to the whatever the API management or the ESB features of integrations they still have. We will stick to that as well, because whatever they need in terms of tooling, okay, a typical iPaaS products is providing all those things. Okay, for a data integration, then we recommend, okay, use this iPaaS products. Whenever that iPaaS evolves onto my API and ESB as well, we will be able to take that as well. But as of now, use that iPaaS products for that particular this thing as well, for that particular sub capability. Okay, that type of recommendations also we do. Okay, that is how we recommend for the enterprises. Okay. This is one of the case studies for a large energy provider within the Europe. Okay, they have these typical point-to-point integrations. This is where we approached all these different tools. Actually, as I told, for API management, we recommended APG, WSO2 for the ESB, Enterprise Service Bus. SnapLogic is an iPaaS product, but SnapLogic is very relevant for the data integrations. Okay, in terms of the on-premise data and then the cloud data. Okay, that was one of the major challenges by these enterprise. They were challenged about that actually. That way, actually, we recommended iPaaS product like SnapLogic to come up with resolving these data solutions and keeping the typical API gateway and OSB intact. Okay, and all other asynchronous integrations with the Kafka-based DSN. Okay, that is how we recommended for those guys actually, and it worked well for them. Okay, and we were able to implement all these things from features perspective. What are all the typical features provided by APIs in terms of the data integration itself? We were able to do all those features to them, and then they still have the typical application integration done using the API and then the WSO2 products. Okay, this is how we usually recommend. Okay, a combination of different products. How exactly you can go through the hybrid integration platform journey to adapt. There may be different toolings available. iPaaS being an option as of now. Okay, but when the iPaaS evolves to a complete product actually, which is capable of doing application integration, B2B integration, data integration, everything, we will be recommending those type of products as well for our enterprises. Okay. Typically, as of now, we have recommended iPaaS products for a specific set, one or two sets of integration capabilities only, to make sure that they are fully evolved products in terms of iPaaS, and they are able to use them. Okay, only because their data was there on cloud, on different clouds, and on premises as well. That was their major thing actually. In terms of application integration, they didn't want that to use that iPaaS products for that. Okay, typically that is how we usually recommend products in terms of iPaaS. Okay. Uh, like we have in terms of iPaaS feature of integration, like there are a lot of details how exactly Tauriaris implements iPaaS. Okay, there are details presented here. Okay, like what our clients say, our approach to iPaaS implementation, how exactly, like as I mentioned, how exactly we select an iPaaS platform, set up and configure iPaaS platforms, what are the tools we use to do that actually, what are all our expertise. Okay, I establish iPaaS governance, what capability we have as an organization to establish the iPaaS governance, because the citizen integrators are doing the right thing. Okay, because the governance is very important. Okay, and establish the iPaaS center of excellence so that um, the tools are properly used by the organizations, and then building the iPaaS flows. And we have a lot of um, accelerators built around these building iPaaS flows as well. Okay, manage the operation of iPaaS flows and platforms. Okay, these are the things actually, and then the enablers for that as well. Okay, this is what we have done actually, and then we have this capability. All these details you can go through. Okay, which is available on our open Toriaris website. Okay, you can go through that actually, and then get back to us for any further questions.